Good morning, guys. Thank you for watching the YouTube. This is a big day. We're 9 days out from the Chicago Pro, and I've got my man Chris here. We have been carbing up, doing a mock carb up, started yesterday, going into today. Just filling up, trying to test the peak for Chicago, make sure we are on point, make sure we're dry, hard, full, everything we need to be the best we can be at Chicago. And so he is doing the most. I'm so thankful for him. It's been 4.5 years working together.
Yeah.
Best thing that's ever happened to me in bodybuilding. And so he is taking the time to come and watch me camp out at the house. He camped out yesterday, watch me after my meals, go through posing and see how the carb up's going. I woke up extremely dry today, surprisingly dry, and going to see what we can do today to fill me out. We're gonna be pretty flat when you guys see these first videos, but I'm gonna chop them up and show you how I look throughout the day and what I'm gonna be eating. So anything about the plan today?
Yeah, so like, you know, many people don't have the opportunity to be able to test a carb up because they're usually pushing it to the envelope all the way till the peak week and then having to deplete or do whatever they do there. So we've been ready for a little bit of time, and we did a mock carb up actually last week to kind of get a general idea of how it responded. We had a good favorable response, but it kind of gave us a better idea of what we need to do now and how his body's gonna respond. So based on that data, we ran it again, but run it for real. He's not training for 2 days. He's gonna run it exactly how we'd normally run a carb up to get a better idea of how we're gonna do next week. So it's really no guessing game. I mean, I don't always do this with everybody, but considering where he is and the level he is at, we wanna know 90% of what we need to do. We're gonna test things to be a little extreme to some way or form to see how flat he can get and how much we can bring him back with fluid. So today's day 2, we're gonna monitor what's gonna happen, take that data, use it, and apply it for next week.
Yeah, so don't get any ideas. I moved to Texas to be 15 minutes from Chris. It's been a long time coming. Our plans are top of the Olympia one day, so we're just working our way up. Started from nothing in 2020.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, you know, that was after like me not even being able to win an overall at a low-level local show before Chris, to winning USAs in 21, top 5 at Texas Pro in 23,
yeah,
and hopefully a pro win soon. So
yes.
You guys are going to get to see what we do for this mock carb up. Hope you guys enjoy. Just before we get posing, just so you all know, these Team HUTCH shirts and my other bodybuilding promotion shirts are still available on my site. So if you guys are interested in going and grabbing some of those before Chicago Pro or after, those are available at jordanhutchinsonifbb.com. Let me know if you have any questions. These oversized comfort color brand tees are super comfortable. They're my favorite. And then we have some regular sizing as well. So you guys go check these out.
Frontal bicep. Yeah, I've never seen you that defined and dry in my life. Ab and thigh. Exoblow. Side chest.
Just hard to connect.
Side tricep. Rear double bicep.
Right here?
Yeah. Rear lat spread. And face front most muscular. Yeah, you lost fullness in the upper body and the back.
Right.
Your glutes, hams, legs, and midsection is as dry as the hardest I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, it's just like crazy dry.
I guarantee you in 2 meals,
I'm gonna fill out.
You're gonna maintain that probably. You're gonna probably lose like 1%, but the fullness is gonna come bouncing back.
Yeah, I feel flat up here.
All right, let me do a quick video. Fucking hell. Fucking hell.
All right, guys, meal one. I'm starving. I'm hypo. I am really thirsty from restricting water, so I'm excited for that coffee. But this is what we got going for our first meal. This is going to be 1 whole egg, 2 English muffins, 145 grams of 93.7 beef. I'm gonna put that on the English muffins. That's gonna be really, really good. Then we got 100 grams of fabulously fruity Flavor Gang hot cereal, cream of rice, 15 grams of peanut butter, 75 grams of banana, and between the coffee and the water and the cream of rice, because we're restricting water, 600 mLs total of water. So I believe I did 350 here and 250 in the coffee. And the macros on this meal are going to be 1,080 calories, 64 grams of protein, 144 grams of carbs, and 27 grams of fat. I'm starving. I'm gonna talk to you guys more as the day goes on. Super excited for this carb up. Time to fill up, see how full we can get. Man, guys, I already feel so much better after that first meal. It's 10:20 right now. Making some rice because I've only got like 370 grams left for the day, and that's gonna go on the first meal. Chris may even push me so hard to the point that we almost tried to spill over. We were so tight, dry, hard. I mean, I was skinned alive this morning, but flat, super flat in the upper body, but legs were like crazy hard, hardest Chris has ever seen me. Small amount of diuretic last night just to test the waters, but we are going to try to feed hard and then see what the look's at midday. Being said, we'll probably bring water back to normal, no more restricting water later in the day, but just kind of play it by ear and maybe increase food progressively. I lost 8 pounds in my sleep. Do you guys see this? This is death face now. If I didn't have the beard, you'd see it even more. I bet you my like jaws are probably striated, but let's see what we got. Still super tight. Calves are really dry. We're in shape, guys. When you're in shape, you get to test the waters. Always get ready for shows early so you don't have to stress at the end. And you can do these test peaks and just chill. No cardio for me, probably for the rest of the time. I doubt I'll do any more cardio. And then we're on to Chicago in less than a week, 6 days. It's Thursday, so I'll be leaving for Chicago with Chris on Wednesday. Absolutely can't wait. Making some rice. Next meal is going to be chicken rice, butter, and dates. So that's at 11:15. I'm gonna start cooking that up so I can get some nice crispy rice. Can't wait for it, guys. I'll show you in a minute. But I've just been getting some work done, watching Scooby-Doo in the background. I like having kids shows on while I work. It's like mindless, brainless TV, so I can just kind of relax my mind. Something I do in prep. And we've also been watching the great British baking show, so I can be tortured by all the desserts that I want and can't have. I have a major sweet tooth in prep, but it's nice to watch it on TV. What I don't like is when it's sitting next to me, like Brittany having the toaster strudels next to me the other night on the couch. I had to go to the other room. I couldn't take it, but that's what I've been up to. Been working, knocking out client check-ins. You guys check out my website if you would like to apply for coaching. My prices are there, my info's there. So go check that out. And that's again, jordanhutchinsonifbb.com. I'm going to finish making this rice, start making my next meal, and I will show you guys meal 2 in just a minute, and Chris will be back over to the house soon to see where we're at. crispy, buttery rice. About to go down. And the best thing of all prep, dates. I'll show you guys the meal in a minute. I did 300 mLs of water between the meal. So I had 600 with my first meal between coffee and my bowl of gains. And now we are doing our chicken, rice, and dates meal with 500 mLs of water. Everything's to a T, guys. Of course, on these high carb days too, always got to make sure Humislin is taken 20 minutes prior to the meal. So that's going down first. Then we're eating this crispy rice. I wish I had a gas range. It takes forever to get this rice as crispy as I like it, but we make do. Meal 2 going down, it's 11:15. I've got my 500 ml of water measured out. In here we've got 150 grams of chicken. We've got 370 grams of rice, 14 grams of real butter, a quarter teaspoon of salt, 20 grams of dates on the side. Can't wait for that. And what we're looking at for this meal is 856 calories total, 55 grams of protein, 125 grams of carbs, about 16.5 grams of fat. Then Chris is gonna look at me in about an hour. Of course, my favorite combo with the butter and chicken meals is a sweet poppy sauce. If I could, I'd get this rice even crispier, guys. I'm having to cook on this big pan because it's a lot of rice. So can't get it quite crispy enough as to my liking. When we have a new house, it's going to have a gas range so I can get that really crispy rice. But Brittany is behind the camera. What was that reaction?
I don't really love gas.
She doesn't love gas because she has this irrational fear of the animals, something happening to them because of the gas stove. So comment below if you guys have had any issues with your animals with a gas stove. But anyways, it's gonna be so good. Get this meal down. We'll show you guys the next look after 2 meals and some more water in me. All right, guys, so we are now 2 meals in, 500 mLs of water, first meal, 300 mLs of water between meal 1 and 2, had second meal, and now sipping, and 500 mLs of water with that, sipping on the next 300 mLs, but it is now 12:54, almost 1 o'clock. I just weighed in at 247.6.
Okay.
I'll confirm that with you again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so up. We woke up at what, 245.4?
Yeah.
Ridiculous. I've not been that low in a very long time. So I can tell I'm filling out. So we're going to show you guys. You can already feel everything much better.
Yeah. Yeah. Front relaxed. You haven't lost any definition in the midsection at all. Frontal bicep.
Waist.
Ab and thigh. Oh yeah. Side chest. Side tricep. Yeah, nuts. Burrito bicep. Now you're actually more lines.
Yeah, I think so.
Rear lat spread. Easy money. Most musculars. That's nuts. Look at the quads. Yeah, so like typically one thing for Jordan, like when he carbs up, usually if he carbs up too much, he usually gets a little blurry in the midsection. The glutes won't change and he'll get fuller everywhere, but he gets a little blurry here. So the whole point of this whole carb mock-up is to really find that happy balance between his fullness and be able to come as dry as anybody's gonna come in. So this is 2 meals in on the second carb day after we dried out a little bit yesterday, and He's holding the lines, gaining lines in some movements, in some poses, and some body parts. So everything's going good. So now we're gonna progress probably the same frequency of fluid for another meal, assess, and then the rest of the meals I'm gonna push higher and push more fluid until we can see him start to get blurry. So then we have a better idea of like how much we can push that fullness.
Almost try to spill over and see what it takes to spill.
We're exactly gonna try to spill over. It's exactly what we're gonna do.
More food, more carbs.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fun rest of the day.
100%.
Awesome, bro. Pumped. All right, guys, so next meal, I'm not gonna eat for another hour. I've got a MIT 45 uprising call in about 12 minutes. So I'm gonna show you guys one of my new favorite combos for bowl gains. So this one tastes like a cinnamon roll. Now there's a part of it that I'm not doing that tastes even better, which is actually adding coconut oil as the fat source for the mix. But today for my carb up, I'm supposed to do peanut butter or nut butter. It sticks to the body a little better. I'm not changing from the plan. I'm not using an oil, but it is really good with oil in it. So what we're doing is kind of like a 50-50, but I usually do 60-40. I like the taste. And I know this sounds crazy, but birthday cake with strawberry, it's Grammy strawberry candy. If you mix those two and then mix cinnamon in it, it does taste like a cinnamon roll. I thought Ross was crazy, but it really does. And then what I do is I have 110 grams of apple with this, and I cut it up into little tiny pieces. I put a packet of Truvia, some cinnamon, and a tiny dash of water. And then I microwave it up, heat it up, keep stirring it, and makes these into like candied apples. This meal is ridiculous. And then I stir that in, put it in the fridge because I like it to be cold. I like to eat it cold. It thickens the cream of rice up because I'm gonna be putting 500 mLs of water. That's how much this meal calls for. And then as soon as I get off the call, I'm gonna eat it. So we're gonna start with the apple. What you want to do is use a kettle like I have over there. Brittany wants to show it. It's the best way to make your cream of rice really consistent. Boil water in a kettle before you mix it in with the cream of rice, because it really does make a big difference as far as the consistency and being able to pour it in and stir it instead of stirring it all and it sits at the bottom, then you put it in the microwave, then it comes out and it's all too thick at the bottom. So I'm gonna cut up 110 grams of apples. So I'm gonna do like really small cuts here so that they get super, super, super soft. So that's the first thing I'm gonna do. We're gonna cut the video here in a second so that I can just get all these cut up real quick and start that in the microwave. And I'm gonna show you guys how I do that and stir it up and everything. So 110 grams of apples are in the bowl. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a decent bit of cinnamon in here. And then I'm going to put some Truvia on top of that. Now, I'm gonna save the rest of that pack. I'm gonna put the tiniest dash of water on top of this because I don't want much at all. Literally like that, okay? I'm gonna mix this around. Put more cinnamon, more Truvia. We're gonna do an entire pack of Truvia on here. That should be good for cinnamon. And I warmed this for like a total of probably 2 minutes. I go like 30 seconds at a time, stir, 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 until they're like really soft, and it literally gets to a point where it's like, you pull it out and it literally looks like candied apples. It's all like soft and mushy, and you've got this like caramelized kind of stuff to it. It's pretty wild. It's really cool. So we're gonna start that. Now I'm gonna weigh out half with the birthday cake, doing 120 grams. So I'm gonna do probably about 80 grams here, 75, 80 grams, just to get a little more than half. And then the rest of the 120 grams is gonna be from the strawberry. Stirred that once, putting the apples back in the microwave. Now I'm gonna do my entire amount of water in here for the meal that I'm doing. This is my favorite cream of rice spoon. I love this spoon. So we're gonna go 500 mLs of water. We just boiled this, so it's nice and hot. I usually do 4 times the amount of water to cream of rice. And now you guys are gonna see how I stir it in. So you wanna just kind of push it around to where it doesn't clump, doesn't spill out the sides. And I stir this really well. And then when I'm cooking it, I usually cook it like a minute, stir it, a minute, stir it, a minute, stir it. Now, if you guys are doing like 60 grams of bowl of gains, you don't have to cook it and stir it that many times. It's gonna cook way quicker. The thing about bowl of gains that's awesome is truly if you're not eating a ton of volume of it, you don't have to do that much. But now that this is like this, I'm gonna keep stirring it, but I'm gonna stir the cinnamon in. I freaking love cinnamon. And I just eyeball it to get what I want, the amount that I want, but I'm gonna stir it in really, really, really well. Last time, I believe, when I put this in, I actually just put it in before I put the water, but it doesn't really matter as long as you're stirring it up well enough. So see, they're starting to get there, but they're not quite there. That's after a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop it in for a whole minute. All right, so apples went in for another minute. Now I'm gonna put the cream of rice in for the bowl of gains for a minute and a half. See how this is starting to become? And the more I warm it, the more that water in there from the apples is gonna get like sticky and start to form and get stickier and sugary from the apples. And then when I let them sit and cool, I'm gonna have them in the fridge with my cream of rice, and then we'll mix it after my call before I'm about to eat it. And you guys will see how like candied sticky it starts to get. It's really cool. All right guys, so these are still a little not quite soft enough. We're gonna go in another 30 seconds to a minute. It's basically to what you like. But this is after a minute and a half in the microwave. See, it's like getting softer, but not quite there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably warm this for a total of like, I'll do another minute, another minute, another minute, and then it'll be done, and then I'll put it in the fridge. And then I'll show you guys me mixing everything together after it all cools down, after my call. Just hopped off the call, meal 3 going down. Still got the bowl of gains in the freezer. It's not as cold as I like it, but the apples and the bowl of gains are in the freezer in the fridge. And then I've got 150 grams of chicken here that I'm gonna eat first. And I'm gonna do the Flavor Gang sweet and nutty sauce. This stuff is awesome. And put that on top, eat that. And then I'll finish making the little bowl of gains for my dessert and show you guys that and the macros for the meal. Pulling the cream of rice out of the freezer. It's finally a little bit cool enough. And we're gonna get our apples out of the fridge and peanut butter. You guys see the consistency when it's been nice and cold. Oh, it's so good. So now I'm gonna dump these apples in here. Kind of gonna distribute them out, and then I just like to stir them in. I don't even like them on top. They're so good just inside it. Brittany's cringing because of the knife sound. Or not knife sound, it's a fork. Guys, I literally, I don't even have my microphone on. It's over here. Oh, it's on. It's on. Guys, this is my prep brain right now. I was just on that mid-45 call. Hunter Labrada texted me, he's like, bro, you look like a crackhead. I was like, I feel like a crackhead. My metabolism's ripping. And I've literally lost a pound since last meal. So Chris says we need to increase water. It's just crazy. But guys, look at this freaking meal. Oh my gosh. You don't even understand how good this is. You guys absolutely have to try this recipe. This is probably my new favorite thing to do with cream of rice. And then I just stir it all together, mix it really good. It's so thick now. Look at that. Because it's cold from the freezer. It's my favorite thing to do. Now, we add the nut butter on top, doing 20 grams. This is how you don't cheat it. You make sure you weigh it if you have an accurate scale like this one we just got. Our other scale was driving me crazy. This way you can still lick the knife and not be cheating. So I'll put some back. We're just gonna drizzle it on top, like to evenly disperse it because I'm like very particular. And I'm gonna have to dig some out. Look at that. Chris, I'm sorry, I'm doing 21 grams. And I'm not gonna lick the knife. But there we have it, guys. There's our next meal. Let me pull up the macros real quick for you. That's gonna be the best thing ever. Okay, so meal 3, 800 calories, 59 grams of protein, 111 grams of carbs, and 14.7, almost 15 grams of fat. I'm ready to eat this and chill, really enjoy it. See you guys on meal 4. All right, guys, meal 4 incoming. Watching the Great British Baking Show with the fam. We freaking love this show, even though I cry every time I see every cake that shows up. So, we got 150 grams of chicken, 370 grams of rice. We've got 14 grams of real butter. Gonna put takeout sauce on top. Again, quarter teaspoon of salt. I always measure it here. And then we've got 20 grams of dates. Got the macros pulled up on my computer, on my work app, on my HUTCH Fitness Kahuna's app for my clients. Use the same thing to calculate mine. So we're looking at 856 calories, 55 grams of protein, 125 grams of carbs, and 16.5 grams of fat. I'm gonna enjoy this. Chris is gonna take a look at me in about an hour, so I gotta get this down. 500 mLs of water with this meal, and feeling pretty full. Bad angle for the arm, but definitely filling out, so you guys are gonna get to see that soon. I'll probably be 249 after this meal is what Chris is thinking, which is up like about 4 pounds from this morning. Still crazy dry. So it's weird being in the 240s. We just like, weight dropped off like crazy, but I imagine we'll creep up in the 250s for the show. So see you guys soon. So Chris comes over a couple hours ago. He says, you're gonna be 249 by the time I come over to look at you. Just wait in, 248.8. It's always right on the money. It's ridiculous.
Abs are still deep. Frontal bicep. Side chest, side tricep. Side tricep. Rear double bicep. Rear lat spread. Yeah, most muscular. Hands on hips, most muscular. Ab and thigh. Yep, there you go. And do the tricep variations when you go like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely fuller. I would say we like 1% less definition.
I agree.
But you're fuller.
And it's this time of night.
Oh, of course, end of the day.
That is what's up next. So, Chris was happy, very happy. We definitely are blasting full compared to earlier. Lost a little bit of hardness in the midsection, but man, still way harder than we were at Texas Pro last year. Harder than we've ever been. Gonna wake up really tight. And Chris is actually coming over in the morning to check on me again. He's been amazing. He wants the best for me. He wants me to be, you know, top 5 Olympian one day. I believe I can make it. I'm only 28, guys. Sky's the limit as long as I can stay injury free, is what Chris always says. That's one of the most important things about being a bodybuilder and having longevity in this sport, is staying injury free and being able to keep your body going for long periods of time. You know, a lot of people say online, oh, you look really healthy for a bodybuilder. It's because I don't do the things that, you know, would cause me to lose that longevity factor. And I care about my health. I care about my mental health. I care about my faith that keeps me going. I care about my family more than just a bodybuilder. I care about good tasting food, so that helps me with longevity too. So this next meal, guys, you gotta cook this right if you want to have a crazy good brownie. So basically what I'm about to do, this meal calls for, I haven't decided yet what fruit I'm gonna use, because I'm not putting fruit in here unless it's banana, and Chris only wants me doing banana one time during this day, just because sometimes they can bloat you, but I do bananas regularly most of the time. I don't want to do apples or strawberries with this meal because I love it's just like having a chocolate brownie. After a minute in the microwave, I did the boiling water in there. It's 120 grams of bowl of gains. Boiling water, stir it, and then a minute in the microwave, and it looks like this. See that consistency? Now it's going, I stir it really good every time. Then I throw it back in the microwave again, and again, and again, and then I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when it rises to the top, then you let it come back down to get that crusted brownie top. I've warmed this in there 4 times. 4 total minutes with this 140 grams of bowl of gains. So see the consistency? And I'm gonna flatten it out on the top like this, to where it's gonna rise up really high and then settle. So this is how your brownie batter should look when it comes out. See that? It rose up and now it's gonna fall and set. It's gonna be super hot, so I'm just gonna set it back. I'm just gonna set it back here, and it's just going to set like that, and then there's gonna be a crisp brownie top. So going to cut up my 150 grams of chicken and eat that, and then we'll have that for my dessert. All right, we got our chicken. Gonna dip it in Nerdy Sanchez sauce. Got that here so I don't waste a drop. And then we will do the bowl of gains. I wanted my cinnamon apples again, so here we are. 110 grams of apples. And that was where we did cinnamon and truvia and warmed them in the microwave to where they get all nice and soft like this. Super hot. So good. So good. We've got our 120 grams of brownie batter. Look at that top. It's amazing. We're gonna add the peanut butter and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt on top. We've got 825 calories, 60 grams of protein, 112.5 grams of carbs, and 15 grams of fat. This is the dessert part, guys. I'm gonna top with the peanut butter. Here we have it, guys. Top 5 favorite diet meals. Look at that. Peanut butter on top of the brownie batter with salt. It's like a salted peanut butter chocolate brownie. So good, guys. You have to try this if you haven't tried it. Use code HUTCH, flavorgang.com, and I'm gonna enjoy the rest of this. I'll see you guys on meal 6. All right, guys, doing my nighttime supplements, and I've got all my health subs ready for bed. And what I do at nighttime, well, before this last meal, I did 3 caps of Humislin so that I shuttle the meal well. I'm gonna do rice and beef for this last meal. Went ahead and took my magnesium glycinate, GABA, 5-HTP. I do 15 milligrams of melatonin. And of course, Descend by Uprising tonight. I'm only doing 1. I didn't do it last time, just trying to keep everything really consistent with the mock carb up, so I just took that out for the night. But then tonight we're back to normal, so I really need a good night's sleep. And then I will show you guys meal 6. And then I've got to send Chris one final video. I'm going to have Brittany video me posing after my last meal. And we're going to try to sleep on the couch tonight because I've not slept well in the bedroom for whatever reason. So we're going to try that out. And I probably didn't sleep as well because I didn't take my Descend last night. So try to get a full night's sleep. Chris is going to come check on me first thing in the morning. Everything with the carb up's gone fairly well. Still decently dry, I'd say. Going to get this meal ready and show you guys my last meal of the day. It's going to be kind of a beef rice burger bowl. Chris said I could use a little bit extra sauces, so I'm going to do sugar-free ketchup and a good bit of sweet poppy sauce. For some of my water tonight, I'm gonna have some sleepy time tea. Really want to sleep well tonight. We got the beef going on the stove, got the dates, and I have a nice cup of tea while we watch the great baking show, whatever it's called. Great British Baking Show. I can't even talk. All these carbs in my brain's still freaking dead. We're almost there. Last meal. I'll go ahead and give you guys the macros and then the total for the day. So macros on this meal is 755 calories, 50 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, and 13 grams of fat. That's 165 grams of 93.7 beef, 320 grams of rice, and 20 grams of dates. We're getting this rice and beef nice and crispied. And then we're gonna do everything bagel seasoning because Chris said I could go a little harder with seasonings and stuff for these last couple meals. I said, I won't complain one bit about that because that's what I'm all about. Show you guys the finished product. And then I am going to tap out as soon as I get y'all's last update, the last Physique shot of the night, go through my posing rounds, send that to Chris. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment below. Love that you guys enjoy the videos. I try to spit these out as much as I can and as quickly as I can, but I really appreciate you guys' support. Make sure you check out my website, the t-shirts, all my links, Uprising 45 links, my codes with Condemned, Gasp, and Flavor Gang, and Amino Asylum. Appreciate you guys and all your support. You're really, really awesome. Okay guys, I'm hungry, ready to chill. This just came off the pan. I was too impatient to get any more crispy than that. We are going to throw on 1/4 teaspoon of salt, some everything bagel seasoning, sweet poppy sauce, and some sugar-free ketchup for my burger bowl and those dates as well. Give you the total for today, macro-wise, we've got 5,181 calories, 343 grams of protein, 727 grams of carbs, and 103 grams of fat. Thank you guys for joining me on this full day of eating. It's been fun, it's been real, but I'm really ready to chill and head to bed, drink my sleepy time tea. You guys will see one last shot right here of me posing after I get this meal down. Then that's a night for me. I'll see you guys on the next one.